On the rise in Champaign County, why health officials say they are worried after the recent discovery of the Delta variant in the community. And millions in unemployment fraud, but that's not the half of it. We bring you up to speed on our Project Illinois investigation.
Now your Storm Team weather with Doug Quick.
Good evening, everyone. I am Doug Quick. Brianna is off tonight, and we want to welcome viewers from our Fox Illinois sister station in Springfield, WRSP Channel 55, to our newscast originating in Champaign. And we're going to Peoria first off on the Rose Heating and Air Conditioning traveling tower cam as we check out some traffic there along I-74 and up above, seeing generally clear skies, but still a bit hazy. Well, those hazy skies will be with us once again tomorrow. Maybe some isolated showers and storms through the afternoon, and we expect to top out around 88 degrees. It's going to be even warmer as we get into the day on Sunday with heat indices perhaps as high as 105. We're already looking at some heat advisories, not for our area, but certainly down into the St. Louis metro area and from the Quad Cities area down to around Keokuk and Burlington and Fort Madison there along the Mississippi River Valley. Not seeing it yet posted here in central Illinois, but we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Live Doppler looking out over the last few hours, and we were seeing just a scattering of some light rain showers across much of the area, even not as much as what we had last evening throughout east central Illinois. Right now, temperatures are primarily in the 70s, although Springfield is holding out at 80 degrees, as is Peoria. 81 in Jacksonville, it's 79 in Decatur, 75 in Champaign, and 76 in Danville. And as we get into the rest of the weekend here with this high heat, here are a few reminders, including stay indoors whenever you can. Some common sense there. Drink plenty of water. Dress in loose clothing. No pets or people left in vehicles at any time at all. And check on others in your neighborhood, especially the elderly and pets. Well, here's what we're expecting tomorrow morning. Partly cloudy skies over the area. We'll check out the rest of that Storm Team forecast for you. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Project Illinois tonight. For months, we have asked the Illinois Department of Employment Security how much money's been paid out to fraudulent claims. Well, today we finally have at least a portion of that answer. Investigative reporter Matt Roy joins us now with the details.
$14.8 million is the number we were given by IDES. But if you're wondering if that's the full amount of money paid out fraudulently in Illinois, it isn't. And the real number will be much, much worse.
So these are the people who say, we're on unemployment, then get a job, but they didn't report that they were now being employed, so they're getting payments they shouldn't be getting. Since
March of 2020, $14.8 million has been paid out to people who either failed to report or underreported wages to get more money.
It says that, unfortunately, the government is not a good watchdog for your tax dollars, and that needs to change.
But while this is some of the fraud from the past year, it's not the lion's share. In a statement, IDES says this does not include any number associated with identity theft-related unemployment fraud. That means the department is still, quote, working to quantify, end quote, how much money has gone out to the nearly 2 million fraudulent claims in Illinois the last 18 months.
Unfortunately, some of those claims need to be looked at almost claim by claim.
In January, the United States Department of Labor estimated $39.2 billion paid to scammers nationwide. In February, CEO of LexisNexis Government Division, Haywood Talcove, said this.
At least $60 billion, but I think closer to $100 billion.
Illinois Senator Linda Holmes says she understands why it's taking IDES and other states so long to get to the number. But she and Senator Steve McClure say when the true value does come out, it's going to be staggering.
It's going to be significant. It's going to be very surprising. And I hope when we get it, it will be accurate.
It's almost mind-boggling to think of these numbers being so enormous.
Holmes says some of that $14.8 million will be able to be recovered by IDES, but she says that number is indicative of just how massive the problem is in Illinois and nationwide. In the studio, I'm Matt Roy. Back to you.
American Airlines is suspending its service from Willard Airport to Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte was one of 3 destinations to where flyers could travel. The airport says it is disappointed it's losing Charlotte, but that it will work with American to continue to fulfill the travel needs of the East Central Illinois community. The service ends effective October 6th. Hendrick House is continuing to make progress after an explosion displaced students a month ago. The student residency says that the cleanup process is beginning after a boiler explosion occurred on June 28th. A student who was inside the building when it occurred confirmed that he and others have moved back in. The Urbana Fire Department says the explosion was caused by a boiler leak. The Champaign-Urbana Public Health District says it is concerned with the recent rise in COVID-19 cases. Epidemiologist Owas Vade with the department says that the county has seen about 25 to 30 cases a day, and this increase has been the highest the county has seen since mid-May and has taken place over 8 days. Vade believes this could be the beginning of another rise in cases.
Like I said, it's been 8 days now. We are seeing a consistent number of cases in the last 8 days. And I believe a lot of that has to do with the Delta variant spreading rapidly.
Vade says that those who are unvaccinated need to consider getting the vaccine to protect themselves from the Delta variant. Lots of reaction this week to a recommendation from the American Academy of Pediatrics saying all children over the age of 2 should wear masks to school. While many support the recommendation, others point out that children are very low risk to COVID-19. In a study last November, Johns Hopkins researchers found that among children without prior serious medical conditions, there were 0 COVID deaths. Across the U.S., 335 children have died with a COVID diagnosis. A CDC analysis found nearly half of adolescent hospital patients with COVID may have been admitted for reasons not primarily related to the virus. One 50-year-old man from Verdon is dead after a crash on Illinois Route 4 last night. 3 people were also seriously injured in that incident. Officials say a truck driven by a teenager tried passing vehicles and hit another car head-on. And we have some breaking news coming into the newsroom right now. We're just learning more about a police presence in Champaign today. Champaign police tells us a man was killed around 5 p.m. this evening after being shot in his chest outside his apartment in the 3000 block of Edward Hoffman Drive. Police say the 26-year-old was taken to a hospital where he died. Champaign police are still investigating that scene. A Tolono man is facing several criminal charges after police find him asleep in his car. Champaign police responded to a call around 5 p.m. yesterday about a man being unconscious in his car near Curtis and Dunlap in Savoy. When officers arrived, they found 47-year-old Gordon Ficklin asleep and parked in a ditch. After searching the vehicle, Ficklin was arrested for an outstanding warrant, possession of a firearm by a felon, and driving while under the influence of drugs. Community members in Champaign-Urbana gathered today to make another push to end gun violence. HV Neighborhood Transformation hosted a couple of dozen residents who want to continue to push for people to choose peace over violence. Several community leaders, including Champaign Mayor Deborah Finan, attended today's peace walk. Maurice Hayes with HV says he hopes that more community members will catch on.
We would love for the community to be broader. We would love for more of the community to come out and support things like this. We would love that. But, you know, unfortunately at this time we don't have that. But we're not going to stop. We're going to keep moving. We're going to keep doing the things that we think will make a difference.
The organization has 2 more peace marches planned for later this year. Attorney General Merrick Garland met with prosecutors and other federal law enforcement officials from around Illinois earlier this morning. This after the Department of Justice officially launched federal gun trafficking strike forces in 5 U.S. cities. Garland met with leaders about the Chicago strike force and emphasized the importance of agencies working together to curb gun violence. DOJ officials say the strike forces will push for intelligence sharing and prosecutions across jurisdictions.
Violent crime in Chicago is a terrible tragedy, and we in the federal government have to do everything we can in cooperation with our state and local partners to bring that violence down.
The strike forces were launched in Chicago as well as in New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Washington, D.C. And the Champaign County Fair is in full swing, and there are plenty of activities planned for the weekend. Over the next few days, the fair will host a stock car race, military day parade, a mini horse show, and a few concerts. Perhaps the biggest name to headline at this year's fair, the Beach Boys. They perform tonight.
If the phone rings in the office 10 times, 9 of them will be asking questions about the Beach Boys and ticket availability and seating and such. They're causing a lot of excitement.
The sun will be out, so make sure to prepare and take breaks in the air-conditioned Kessler Hall. The Champaign County Fair continues all week long and will conclude next Saturday, July 31st. The historic Coliseum has been called the crown jewel of the state fairgrounds, but after renovations were delayed by the pandemic, what can you expect to see at the fair this year? Well, Fox Illinois' Jordan Elder is working for you with an update.
State Fair Manager Kevin Gordon says after the year we've had, he expects the State Fair to draw in thousands of Illinoisans.
20, obviously, when we canceled first week of June, it was like a kick in the gut.
He's excited for people to see the work they've done on the historic Coliseum. The building was condemned in 2016, undergoing millions of dollars worth of renovations.
Phase 1 did a lot of the exterior work, replacing the windows, things along that line, a lot of internal stuff.
But that was only phase 1 of the project unveiled at the last state fair, and phase 2 is seeing some delays.
The initial plan was to have it completed in February of 22. With the whole COVID situation, obviously that's affected everything that's occurred across the nation. We will be starting phase 2 at the end of the Illinois State Fair and actually the end of our season.
Gordon says they've had horse shows at the Coliseum almost every weekend since March, and the building's signature events are good to go.
We're still going to have our Parade of Champions and our Sale of Champions on Saturday and Tuesday, which is our biggest draw here during the fair at the Coliseum.
But they're also starting new traditions here.
We'll have an AKC dog show competition.
And once the fair is over, the Coliseum seats and air conditioning will be the first on the list for upgrades.
Gordon says the fair will have a good mix of new and old this year. Some of those new attractions include a Route 66 experience, the Clydesdale horses, drone races, and esports competitions. Dozens of the state's minimum security inmates are helping with landscaping there at the fair. Flowers around the fairgrounds are planted and maintained by Illinois inmates. It's a program that began almost 30 years ago. The Department of Corrections transports prisoners to the grounds each morning. Landscape supervisor Jerry Morgan teaches them how to garden and says their work is important in keeping the fairgrounds in good shape.
They really enjoy it. They're really passionate about it. They're, you put their heart into it, as the work shows.
The plants here are also recycled. Inmates collect seeds and bulbs and maintain them in a greenhouse through the winter before replanting for the fair. Coming up here on Fox Illinois News at 9, tourism is trying to make a comeback in the capital city, why the hospitality industry is saying they need more help. Plus, a horse and its rider are rescued via helicopter after falling off a steep trail. How the horse needed rescuing again. And a new state bill is hurting the auto repair business, while residents of Rhode Island are pointing their finger at their legislature. And in tonight's question of the day, a new survey asked Americans to name their favorite food to eat on road trips. This was the most common answer. What do you think it is? Take a guess on the Fox Illinois Facebook page.
You're watching Fox Illinois Live with Brianna Collins, Doug Quick, and Sports with Nico Hefflinger.
A couple on a rampage.
They don't care who they kill.
Inside the massive manhunt and capture.
Bonnie and Clyde aren't done yet.
Then, what bringing her toddler to a job interview revealed about childcare.
Well, I was shocked.
Daily Mail TV.
Tonight at 10 on Fox Illinois. Don't miss the hot summer savings at Sloan's during Deere Days of Summer. Get your John Deere 1025R for just $171 per month. Get a John Deere now and
power up at Sloan's.
Visit Sloan Implement today, celebrating 90 years and going strong.
We are sick and we are dying.
The National Desk covers America's news now. Investigative news.
The community has a right to understand what's being released.
Toxic, forever chemicals linked to cancers.
We are poor and black in this neighborhood. They figure that no one is going to care.
Turn to the National Desk every weekday morning to understand America's news now.
Weekday mornings from 5 to 7 on Fox, Illinois.
Don't miss the hot summer savings at Sloan's during Deere Days of Summer. Get your new John Deere X350 lawn tractor for just $76 per month with 4.9 for 48 months. Get a John Deere now and
power up with Sloan's.
Visit Sloan Implement today, celebrating 90 years and going strong.
Big Bang gets banged up with Bernadette.
He shaved it all.
You're welcome. The Big Bang Theory.
Monday at 6 on Fox, Illinois. Thank you for turning to Fox, Illinois. The news continues now.
Well, check this one out. A horse and its rider got some aerial horsepower yesterday to get out of a bad situation. The horse, named Mackie, and its rider, who appears to be nameless, were out for a ride when they tumbled down a steep embankment. Firefighters and veterinarians worked to rescue both and airlifted the horse out in a harness. Then the horse broke free of rescuers once its legs touched down and managed to get in trouble all over again. He was eventually freed, and both he and his rider were unharmed in that ordeal. Now, Rhode Islanders pay some of the highest auto repair costs and auto insurance premiums in the country. Well, now some are pointing the finger at the General Assembly. In tonight's Fox Focus, the reason for the blame.
Shane Korzenewski has a big problem with House Bill 6325, a motor vehicle replacement parts bill currently making its way through the Rhode Island General Assembly. Korzenewski owns General Auto Recycling, a large salvage yard in Tiverton. He says the restrictions in House Bill 6325 would make it impossible for him to sell many of the parts from the cars currently on his lot.
Trying to pass a 50-mile radius where people can only purchase the parts. I don't understand how that would work. I mean, the guy who's 55 miles away, you can't buy it from him.
Frank O'Brien of the American Property Casualty Insurance Association agrees. He argues recycled parts are much more environmentally friendly than new parts and can offer big savings to consumers. Putting restrictions on them, he says, will lead to higher repair bills and ultimately higher insurance premiums.
Rhode Island has more restrictions and more laws regarding how you repair a vehicle than any other state. So as a result, it costs us more to repair a vehicle in Rhode Island than it costs us anywhere else in the country.
But Bob Godfrey from the Auto Body Association of Rhode Island disagrees. He says the bill was created to protect consumers from inadequate repairs.
90% of the insurance companies are already abiding by everything that is in this regulation. What we're trying to do is there are certain outliers that will use anything to their advantage, and if they can reduce the cost of an estimate by $25, they're going to do it.
Still, Shane worries the strict wording in the current bill could put him out of business.
We have a possible potential of downsizing.
The House bill was in committee but was not voted on before the legislative session ended.
Now your Storm Team weather with Doug Quick.
Well, the Rose Heating and Air Conditioning traveling tower cam traveling down from Peoria, where we took you earlier. down to the capital city there. Checking out some traffic along East Cook Street on Springfield's east side, and the Capitol just a shadow there over the horizon. Well, overhead we're looking at generally mostly cloudy skies, but still a bit hazy. Hey, let's take a closer look at that weekend as we get into the day tomorrow. Hazy sunshine. It's going to be warm and humid with an increasing chance of afternoon and evening showers and storms, probably making an appearance at some point during the later evening and during the overnight. 88 degrees the expected high for Saturday, and look at that, all the way up to 90 degrees on Sunday. Mostly sunny and humid, heat indices all the way up to 105. Well, we're already looking at some heat advisories out to the northwest from the Quad Cities area, Burlington, Fort Madison, Keokuk, and then down into the St. Louis metro area, also under that heat advisory. This will be in effect from noon until tomorrow evening. And today, wow, it was a warm one today, but as somebody once said, you ain't seen nothing yet. 87 was the high today in Champaign, 89 in Springfield, up to 93 in St. Louis, 89 in Chicago, 86 in Indianapolis, and 91 up in Des Moines. Right now, though, we're in the mid-70s here in Champaign, but Springfield coming in with 80 degrees there, also in Peoria, Quincy, 86 in St. Louis, and 83 degrees down at Jeff City, and those dew points are up into the 70s, so yeah, it's a bit muggy out there tonight, most certainly. Light and variable winds, well, light winds at the current time, but they're all coming in from the south, and that's bringing us that warm, humid air. Over the next 5 days, look at this. Average highs being around 85, not even close to that. We're going to be up into the 90-degree range for most of those days over the next 5 with humidity levels to match. And as we look out across mid-Illinois, we did see just a speckle or two of maybe some light rain showers, especially here in east central Illinois and out west of the Illinois River. But look out to the northwest. That's where our next weather maker is going to be moving in to bring us those showers and thunderstorms late Saturday evening. This is showing about 8:30. That'll be moving during the overnight, as well as that cold front. Behind it, high pressure moves in, and frankly, we don't see anything on Sunday, even though the official forecast is calling for at least a chance of some showers and storms on Sunday. But after that front moves through, it appears to be dry over much of the area. So I'm going to be optimistic that we will indeed see a dry Sunday. But it's going to be a scorcher out there. 70 degrees tonight, mostly clear, hazy, and muggy. Then 88 degrees tomorrow, hazy, sunshine, very humid with an increasing chance of showers and storms. And there it is by Sunday, maybe some early morning showers and storms. After that, mostly sunny. And then next week, daytime highs around 90 with clear and hopefully dry conditions. Coming up next, what the IRS wants you to know before you file your tax returns. Plus, a gas station infestation keeps people away. And an amusement ride goes afoul. That and more in tonight's Take a Look at This. And in the question of the day this evening, a new survey asked Americans to name their favorite food to eat on road trips. This was the most common answer. What do you think it is? Take a guess on the Fox Illinois Facebook page. You're watching Fox Illinois News at 9.
Discover an amazing lineup of aerobatics performers as we celebrate 75 years of the Decatur Airport. This world-class air show only comes around once every 25 years. On August 14th and 15th, the air show will feature military and civilian performers such as the United States Army Golden Knights parachute team, champion pilot Rob Holland, and world-renowned pilot Skip Stewart. Buckle up for a high-impact air show plus activities, food, and displays the whole family will love. Mark your calendar for the 75th anniversary air show at the Decatur Airport, August 14th and 15th, powered by the Decatur Park District.
Unlock a summer of possibilities in a new Chevy. Expand your options and your perspective. Find your next adventure in a new Chevy.
Enjoy the open road and make no monthly payments for the rest of the summer on select popular Chevy SUVs. Plus, get interest-free financing for 72 months when you finance with GM Financial. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Have you heard? Tempur-Pedic sleep is better sleep.
With innovative memory foam developed by NASA, Tempur-Pedic mattresses reduce motion transfer,
Which means less tossing and turning so you can sleep undisturbed through the night. But which Tempur-Pedic is right for you? Come to Denver Mattress and test for yourself. Or get a free $300 gift when you purchase a new Tempur-Pedic. And rest easy knowing it's backed by our 365-night better sleep guarantee. Shop Denver Mattress today, your Tempur-Pedic elite retailer.
The Yankees versus the White Sox on the Field of Dreams, August 12th on Fox.
You're watching Fox, Illinois. Thank you for turning to Fox, Illinois. The news continues now.
A warning to taxpayers and how cutting unemployment benefits didn't help. Stacy Skryzak has more in tonight's Consumer Watch.
The IRS is warning taxpayers to keep an eye on summer activities when it comes to your tax refund situation in 2022. Now, renting a home or Airbnb, getting married, or sending your kids to camp, they're just some of the things that can impact future tax returns. The IRS is hoping consumers keep this in mind before filing taxes next year. A new study finds there was no correlation between cutting unemployment benefits and getting people back to work. Critics have slammed the extra benefits, calling it an incentive for Americans to not look for work. Data from the Census Bureau shows that cutting extra benefits, it did not result in significant improvements in people going back into the workforce. This comes as at least 25 states have ended that extra $300 a week unemployment benefits.
From being covered in flies to getting caught up in foul play at an amusement park, plus honoring first responders who keep us safe. These stories are all in tonight's Take a Look at This.
It wasn't a lack of fuel that caused people to pass up this gas station in Nakusa, Wisconsin, but an invasion of mayflies.
They would look and their car windows would be down a little bit because it was hot out. They would roll them up and be like this.
No wonder. Thousands of the insects migrated across the street from the Wisconsin River, seemingly attracted by the lights during their 24 to 48-hour lifespan.
On the windowsills alone, we had 6 inches of dead mayflies.
Oh, yuck. Employees say it took more than 4 hours to clean up the mess. 2 young teens were celebrating a birthday at a New Jersey amusement park when this seagull decided to crash the party. And I mean literally crash right into Kylie Holman's face. The girls were on the park's slingshot ride when Holman got a real bird's eye view.
When they tilted us back before we got flung up in the air, I didn't see it. But as soon as we started going up, I saw it.
Neither Kylie nor her new feathered friend were injured in the incident. Her one big takeaway?
I'm just happy it didn't poop on me.
Wise words, Kylie. And finally, let's remember to give thanks to our local firefighter heroes this summer as they put themselves in harm's way to battle intense wildfires across the country. Like this group from the UC Davis Fire Department who had to drive through the flames to the Tamarack Fire to help protect a housing development in South Lake Tahoe, Nevada. For Take a Look at This, I'm Steve Nannis.
Restaurants still struggling come calling on D.C. asking Congress for more money. How much? I'm Scott Thuman in Washington with a look at the latest efforts to keep the doors open.
And Capital City tourism is coming back, what local business owners are saying. And in our question of the day, a new survey asked Americans to name their favorite food to eat on road trips. This was the most common answer. What do you think that was? Take a guess on the Fox Illinois Facebook page. You're watching Fox Illinois News at 9.
Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
Don't miss the hot summer savings at Sloan's during Deere Days of Summer. Get your John Deere 1025R for just $171 per month. Get a John Deere now and
power up at Sloan's.
Visit Sloan Implement today, celebrating 90 years and going strong.
Are you searching for something? All you have to do is ask.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Do try to have some fun. Want to join me in the shower?
This is intense.
I love my job.
Let the adventure begin.
Fantasy Island, series premiere Tuesday, August 10th on Fox. It took 30 years. And now they are here. The Yankees versus the White Sox on the Field of Dreams. August 12th, live from Iowa on Fox.
We are sick and we are dying.
The National Desk covers America's news now. Investigative news.
The community has a right to understand what's being released.
Toxic, forever chemicals linked to cancers.
We are poor and black in this neighborhood. They figure that no one is going to care.
Turn to the National Desk every weekday morning to understand America's news now.
Weekday mornings from 5 to 7 on Fox, Illinois.
Don't miss the hot summer savings at Sloan's during Dear Days of Summer. Get your new John Deere X350 lawn tractor for just $76 per month with 4.9 for 48 months. Get a John Deere now and power up with Sloan's. Visit Sloan Implement today, celebrating 90 years and going strong.
Thank you for turning to Fox, Illinois. The news continues now.
The restaurant industry was hit hard during the pandemic, losing 25% of its revenue, according to the National Restaurant Association. Congress opened the government purse strings to counter those losses, but some owners say that money did not go far enough and they need more to stay in business. Sinclair's chief political correspondent, Scott Thuman, explains.
Earlier this year, Congress fed struggling restaurants a lifeline. The Restaurant Revitalization Fund, a pool of nearly $29 billion federal dollars to help keep them afloat. But a few months later, some owners allege that much-needed help never hit their bank accounts.
We applied on time. We applied first day, first hours, and we were approved and then never funded.
So what's the hang-up? It turns out there's just no more cash to help keep those kitchens running. The Revitalization Fund ran dry, leaving over 177,000 restaurants and bars in need of relief, according to the Independent Restaurant Coalition.
These businesses have 16 months of debt, like back rent, that will soon come due. And the cost of goods like meat, grain, and even paper products has increased dramatically compared to this time last year.
Now, from coast to coast, calls are growing for Congress to replenish the fund. On Wednesday, Congressman Blaine Luetkemeyer, a Republican from Missouri, introduced the Entree Act, which would repurpose $60 billion of unspent cash from President Biden's American Rescue Plan. Similar legislation was introduced by a bipartisan group of lawmakers last month, but as both bills await debate, cash-strapped restaurants hang in the balance.
It's absolutely imperative that we see Congress replenish this fund as quickly as possible.
But not soon enough for some. According to the group called Replenish the Fund, some 90,000 restaurants nationwide went out of business during the pandemic. In Washington, I'm Scott Thuman.
U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen sends a warning shot ahead of a debate about raising the debt limit. Yellen sent a letter to House Speaker Pelosi today warning of, quote, extraordinary measures, unquote, her agency would take if the limit is not raised by August. This process has played out similarly in the past, but it's unclear how effective the Treasury's tools will be this time around, especially in the face of multiple stimulus efforts over the past several months. Economists warn a default could be catastrophic for multiple parts of the U.S. economy. Hotels and businesses in Springfield are bouncing back after they took a hit due to the pandemic and its restrictions. Now, Fox Illinois reporter Alyssa Wee is working for you. She spoke with both of these industries today and reports on what they have to say.
As the COVID-19 pandemic dwindles down, Springfield business owners like Corrine Campbell are seeing things pick back up.
A lot of people are coming out shopping. Also, I noticed like with locals also, which is amazing.
Campbell says the reason dropped COVID-19 restrictions once the state entered phase 5 back in June.
As soon as everything was lifted and they could come out and shop, that's when I noticed how aware people were with shopping local.
The director of Springfield's Convention and Visitors Bureau, Scott Dahl, says it's not just local businesses that are seeing a boost. In the last 15 months during the pandemic, Springfield's hotel occupancy rates averaged 30%.
In June, the city of Springfield ran almost 60% occupancy. That's back to 2019 levels.
With more events expected to start in the coming weeks, including the State Fair, Dahl expects an increase in crowds and tourists to the capital city.
I think we'll see maybe upwards of a few 100,000 visitors over the next few months that will be stopping by Springfield and hopefully overnighting.
The upcoming events keep business owners like Campbell excited and hopeful for what's to come in the late summer and early fall.
With that picking up and then with tourists coming now, it's not as what it used to be, but I think we can be patient, It will be back.
That was Alyssa Wee reporting. According to Springfield's Visitors Center, they're not seeing any international travel and don't expect to see that until 2022. Generally, travelers and tourists to Springfield spend nearly $480 million a year. A Morgan County Sheriff's deputy has been awarded for his outstanding police work. Deputy Derek Suttles is receiving the Illinois Fraternal Order of Police State Lodge's Meritorious Service Award for his actions. Deputy Suttles conducted a traffic stop in April in which he found almost 22 pounds of cocaine that resulted in the seizure of $1 million of illegal drugs. And you can also get your Fox Illinois news delivered straight to your inbox. You can sign up now for the newsletter at foxillinois.com.
I'm Christine Frizzell with a closer look at an emboldened China and why many here in Washington are now sounding alarm bells about what that could mean moving ahead.
And looking out over the next week, we're seeing some very warm, humid conditions with heat indices topping out around 100 degrees each day. I'll have what comes with that coming up with the Storm Team forecast here on Fox Illinois News at 9.
He's Raj Kutrapali, PhD, pretty hot doctor of love.
I'm a scientist / party planner / small dog enthusiast / guy who probably should have stopped at scientist.
The Big Bang Theory, 5 nights a week.
Weeknights at 6 and 6:30 on Fox Illinois. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
Don't miss the hot summer savings at Sloan's during Deere Days of Summer. Get your John Deere 1025R for just $171 per month. Get a John Deere now and
Power up at Sloan's.
Visit Sloan Implement today, celebrating 90 years and going strong.
It's the back-to-school sale at Furniture Row. Shop today and find everything you need to create the perfect room or study nook. Find futons starting at just $139, sofas for only $299, desks as low as $299, beds for only $299, and queen mattresses starting at just $299.99. Discover hundreds of clearance items store-wide, plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Start the school year off right during the back-to-school sale on now at Furniture Row.
Whatever it takes. Rose Heating and Air Conditioning, the company you can be comfortable with. Call Rose Heating and Air Conditioning today at 217-328-4557.
Spend your summer
I'm getting fittier and funnier.
laughing your way to rock hard abs.
That's great, I think.
Sunday at 8 on Fox Illinois.
Don't miss the hot summer savings at Sloan's during Deere Days of Summer. Get your new John Deere X350 lawn tractor for just $76 per month with 4.9 for 48 months. Get a John Deere now and
Power up with Sloan's.
Visit Sloan Implement today, celebrating 90 years and going strong.
Inside a massive manhunt and capture.
Bonnie and Clyde aren't done yet.
Daily Mail TV.
Tonight at 10 on Fox Illinois. Thank you for turning to Fox Illinois. The news continues now.
Firefighters have ended their mission at the Florida condominium collapse site. Crews have cleared debris while forensic teams continue to work to identify human remains. The June 24th collapse killed at least 97 people. One more person believed missing has yet to be identified. The disaster site is now empty. An investigation into why the building collapsed continues. The Taliban says there cannot be peace in Afghanistan until President Ashraf Ghani is removed and a new government is negotiated. Taliban fighters have captured key territory in recent weeks, seizing strategic border crossings and threatening several provincial capitals. Those advances come as the latest U.S. and NATO soldiers are set to pull out of Afghanistan by the end of August. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says President Biden spoke with Ghani this afternoon and will continue to support ongoing discussions between the Taliban and Afghan government leaders.
We believe a political solution is the only outcome to lasting peace in Afghanistan. But we will continue to provide support to the government in the form of humanitarian support, security support, training, and we will also continue to encourage them to take a leading role in defending and protecting their own people.
The Taliban says under a new negotiated government, women would be allowed to work, go to school, and participate in politics, but would have to wear hijabs. Tonight, there's a renewed focus in Washington on how to best respond to China. This as China's leaders have made clear involvement in their country's affairs, even on matters that impact the entire globe. They're not welcome and will not be tolerated. Sinclair's national correspondent, Christine Frizzell, has more on why some say the time to respond to China is now.
A threat from the Chinese Communist Party in no uncertain terms. The voice in this video warning of a full-scale nuclear war if Japan deploys even one soldier, one ship, in response to China's handling of Taiwan, according to a translation by Taiwan News.
China has an official no first use policy, which means it declares it will not be the first to use nuclear weapons in a conflict.
Gordon Chang, who wrote The Great U.S.-China Tech War, says the idea that China is willing to go against that official policy paints a larger picture of China's President Xi Jinping and today's Chinese Communist Party.
And it just shows you that Chinese rulers believe that nothing binds them. They can do whatever they want, no matter how dangerous, no matter how destructive.
Other recent examples, China ramping up the aggression in the South China Sea and its brazen takeover of most aspects of life in Hong Kong.
We also learned this week China has rejected plans by the World Health Organization for a second phase of the study into the origins of the coronavirus. Chinese officials say the theory that it may have leaked from a Chinese laboratory is inconsistent with the facts, though many top leaders here in Washington disagree.
President Biden recently ordered U.S. intelligence agencies to revamp their efforts on this front, with some in Congress calling for U.S. leaders to make responding to China a top priority.
Insist that the Chinese cooperate with the international community as to how this virus, where it came from.
But can you insist when it comes to China?
Yeah, you can if you get the world behind you.
Some worry most Americans choose to ignore China, but won't be able to for much longer.
The United States has been very slow to react to this, been very slow to understand the comprehensive nature of China's challenge and the maliciousness of Beijing's tactics. So we could very much lose our country if we do not react to this appropriately.
A reaction Chang says is already overdue. I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
Now your Storm Team weather with Doug Quick.
One of my favorite traveling tower cam shots is this one, although it's not really positioned very well. There we go. Get rid of my name. We all know who I am. But looking out here just across the bottom of the frame, you can see downtown St. Louis. Unfortunately, it's showing a little more sky than it is downtown St. Louis. But it's a great view on the Rose Heating and Air Conditioning traveling tower cam. And they were looking at some hazy conditions there throughout the day and evening hours as well. Well, those hazy conditions will be with us during the overnight, maybe even some patchy fog in some areas. And tomorrow's high expected to be around 88 degrees. We'll see an increasing chance of showers and maybe a few thunderstorms during the latter part of the afternoon, especially during the overnight into very early Sunday morning. That's still a possibility. Sunday's high near 90 degrees. Heat indices all the way up to around 105. Live Doppler looking out across mid-Illinois. The only thing we're seeing is primarily wind turbine returns across the land of tall turbines. And as we look out across the Mississippi River Valley out into the plains, there's our next weather system. This is the one that's going to be dropping in here. And you can see that warm front passing out to the east. That's the leading edge of the warm, humid air that we will continue to experience this weekend. And we're stopping this as that frontal boundary will be right across mid-Illinois. This is about 8:30 tomorrow evening, and that will continue to move to the south, as is that frontal boundary. On the north side of that, not really seeing anything for the day on Sunday other than high pressure. The official forecast, though, is still calling for at least a chance of seeing some showers and maybe some thunderstorms later Sunday. We'll have to wait and see. Here's what we're expecting, though, by tomorrow afternoon, maybe a scattering, and then by tomorrow evening, there's that line of rain and storms, and then after that, things look pretty quiet. As far as rainfall, this is what we're anticipating here through at least Sunday afternoon. And that pretty much covers that window of opportunity, so maybe around 1/4 of an inch in some areas. Look at the highs today, pretty close to 90 in Decatur and Springfield, checking in with 89 degrees, 87 in Champaign and Danville, 86 in Mattoon, 88 in Taylorville, 86 in Litchfield, Hillsboro, 87 over in the Jacksonville area. And these temperatures currently, well, we're in the mid-70s to around 80 degrees there. And those dew points still in the low 70s. So it's a bit muggy out there. And we're also looking at limited visibilities in some areas, but we're not seeing anything that even resembles pea soup fog. For tonight, 70 degrees, mostly clear, hazy and muggy, 88 degrees tomorrow. Hazy sunshine, humid with an increasing chance of showers and storms through the afternoon. Over the next 7 days, looking at some calm conditions as we get into next week, but the heat and humidity will continue. Over the next 8 to 14 days, we got a better chance for above average temperatures and a, well, near average opportunity here for precipitation. That's July 31st through August 6th. Coming up, Brett Bielema is approaching his first game as head coach of the Illini. He's now already impressed his athletic director and more. That's coming up next in sports. You're watching Fox Illinois News at 9.
Coming up this week on Full Measure, the group that made its name teaching survival skills to boys is now struggling for its own survival. The Boy Scouts have agreed to pay $850 million to 60,000 sex abuse victims. We investigate the biggest sexual abuse court case in history. Some experts consider China to be the biggest foreign policy challenge facing the Biden administration. From espionage to trade, dealing with China is complicated. You might be surprised how similar the Biden approach is proving to be to the Trump approach. We'll take a bipartisan look. And as the border crisis deepens, no place is more impacted than Texas. I'll talk to Congressman Henry Cuellar, a Democrat, about what's happening right now in his home state and what he thinks of the Biden approach compared to Trump. All of that coming up this week on Full Measure.
Been dreaming of a new car, new house, dream vacation? You've got big dreams, and Land of Lincoln Credit Union has low loan rates. We're a match made in heaven. Get pre-approved before you shop so you know exactly what you can spend. Already have a home or auto loan? Get a quote to refinance your vehicle or home at LLCU and save with our low loan rates. Visit llcu.org to apply or stop in. Land of Lincoln Credit Union. Bank on learning more. Qualifications may apply. Federally insured by the NCUA. Equal housing lender.
Health is not a sprint. It's a marathon, and you know that. You got this. Nutrients for immune system support, heart health, and energy metabolism. But remember, you have more than regular energy. It's Jennifer Lopez energy. Or J-Lo energy. Seems forced. Jenny from the Block energy. Overdone. Jenergy. Visit Goli.com today. Jenergy.
This fall, Fox is making television history again. Undiscovered talent get the chance to perform as their avatar alter ego. It's the world's first Avatar singing competition series. You have to see to believe. Who will be your alter ego? A new competition series. Wednesdays after The Masked Singer. This fall on...
I'm freaking out. I'm worried we're gonna get caught.
Guilty people, run. That's what guilty people do.
She's actually wanted in a murder investigation.
And I'm out $300,000.
Chicago PD!
In the Dark.
Wednesday at 8 on CW23.
Big Ten football media days wrapping up in Indianapolis today, and the Illini are one day closer to kicking off the 2021 season and the Brett Bielema era, which has looked good so far as he is back in the Big Ten for the first time since 2012 and looking to turn around an Illinois program that has struggled to sustain success. Before coaching in his first game, Illinois Athletic Director Josh Whitman is already impressed with the groundwork laid by the new head coach.
He has a plan, and he's been executing on that plan since the first day he walked into the Smith Center, and I really applaud him for that. And it's been very obvious to me, who have a chance to visit with him almost every day, and to see how strategically he has worked through the different parts of building a program and laying the foundation for what we think will be long-term success has really been fulfilling for me to watch, and just really proud of the progress we've made.
And for the second time in his career, Doug Kramer named to the Remington watch list. The trophy is awarded to the best center in college football. Kramer is the 7th-ranked NFL draft prospect, according to Mel Kiper, and hopes to continue the tradition of Illini offensive linemen playing on Sundays.
Obviously, we had 4 guys who are on NFL rosters right now, and that's awesome. I want to see all my teammates have that chance and be able to play at the next level. And the Illinois alumni on the House of Pain begin their quest towards a TBT title and $1 million prize tomorrow. The roster made up of former fan favorites on the Fighting Illini, including Brandon Paul and Dimitri McCamey. For younger alumnus Kipper Nichols, teaming up with Illini greats makes this team an honor to play on.
I admire a lot of these guys' games, and obviously when I was coming to Illinois, I did my research, and a lot of these guys are in the lore, really, for Illini basketball. So, like I said, to take the floor with them is an honor and a pleasure. So.
The House of Pain take on Jackson, Tennessee underdogs in the opening round of the basketball tournament tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the Peoria Civic Center. Tickets can be purchased at thetournament.com. And at the high school level, Champaign Central has named longtime assistant LeConte Nix as the new interim boys basketball coach. Nix is entering his 17th season with the Maroons and will continue his roles as an assistant coach for baseball while stepping away from his role with the football team. Alessandra will have more highlights of the House of Pain opener coming your way tomorrow. That's all for sports tonight.
Burned up.
Don't you want to know what caused this?
I'm Doug Quick for Spotlight on America, investigating the rush to get first responders trained to fight electric vehicle fires.
The quicker we can get everybody across the country trained up, the better it is for everyone involved.
Spotlight on America investigates fighting electric vehicle fires. Monday on Fox, Illinois.
Everyone in Greylock is important. But if Greylock is going to survive, we need total control over what happens within our borders, including who does and does not get to drill on our land.
We just get one life.
Let's save this town.
Ordinary people can do extraordinary things. I'm all in.
The Republic of Sarah.
Monday at 8 on CW23.
It took 30 years. And now they are here. The Yankees versus the White Sox on the Field of Dreams. August 12th, live from Iowa on Fox.
The hardest hits. The most intense action. The best wrestling on the planet. Ring of Honor Wrestling. Creating excellence every week.
Ring of Honor, Saturday night at 11 on Fox, Illinois.
Kind of short of time here, so we're going to get right into it here. That weekend outlook, 88 tomorrow, up to 90 degrees on Sunday. Heat indices around 105. Maybe some showers and thunderstorms late tomorrow night, maybe even real early Sunday morning. But I think it'll be over fairly quickly. And then as we get into next week, daytime highs of around 90, overnight lows at around 70. And in our question of the day, a new survey asked Americans to name their favorite food to eat on road trips. The answer was trail mix. Well, that kind of makes sense, I guess. And that's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a terrific weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Burned up.
Don't you want to know what caused this?
I'm Doug Quick for Spotlight on America, investigating the rush to get first responders trained to fight electric vehicle fires.
The quicker we can get everybody across the country trained up, the better it is for everyone involved.
Spotlight on America investigates fighting electric vehicle fires. Monday on Fox, Illinois.
Pledge to me that you will submit, and I promise to let them live. I can't let you do this. Then I will make you suffer.
Your dad's been in worse spots, and he always gets out of them. He has a family to fight for. Be the hero I knew you would be. He will fight through this, and he will win.
Superman and Lois, Tuesday at 8 on CW.
Take a staycation with Mike and Molly, where the mattresses are plush.
Did I do that?
I'm gonna need another beer.
The drinks are ice cold.
It's got flaxseed, kale, and 3 different kinds of rum. Means I can't taste the kale.
And you can really live your best life.
Does it mean we're never gonna leave the house again, does it?
Why would we? We're never gonna find a sports bar with soup this good.
Treat yourself with Mike and Molly 5 nights a week.
Weeknights at 11 on CW23.
We are sick and we are dying.
The National Desk covers America's news now. Investigative news.
The community has a right to understand what's being released.
Toxic, forever chemicals linked to cancers.
We are poor and black in this neighborhood. They figure that no one is going to care.
Turn to the National Desk every weekday morning to understand America's news now.
Weekday mornings from 5 to 7 on Fox, Illinois.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program for this important nerd alert.
Guys, tickets already went on sale.
You sure they're Star Wars tickets?
No, it's Steel Magnolia's 2 even steelier.
The website's frozen. I can't get in. All right, this goes against everything I stand for. Lord. I know I've spent my life denying that you exist. And I will continue to do so.
This concludes your nerd alert from The Big Bang Theory, 5 nights a week.
Weeknights at 6 on Fox, Illinois.
Dr. Raj Kuthrapali. Cool. Redefined.
You're watching Fox, Illinois.
I'm Thomas Roberts. Here are Daily Mail TV's Fast 5 stories happening right now.
Is Bill Cosby about to sue over the trial that led to his now overturned conviction? And is he already working on a new documentary about his case?
I think the world wants to see him, the iconic Bill Cosby.
Then, the Dodgers star pitcher under investigation for sexual assault was his accuser.